Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigil here and welcome back to another video. So in this one, we're gonna rank every single soul raid release so far based on how much I like it. So I guess I'm gonna still mention it, but it goes without mentioning that this is gonna be a subjective tier list. And yeah, I'm gonna rank them based on how I feel about playing them. I don't like soul raids that are unfairly hard, but I don't like soul raids that are too easy either. I'm gonna rank them based on the character they have a chance to drop when you finish them, and I'm gonna rank them basically on the final boss as well, and everything that I remember about them. But there's so many soul raids, there's probably things I don't really remember about them, and we got to the last contract sadly, so we're just gonna skip over one of them, I guess. But yeah, we got first of all the Black Adam soul rates, the rule of conduct soul rates. I don't know exactly the name, but you get the points. So where do we put this? I feel like either A tier or B tier, because there's some nasty bosses in there, and the final boss, bro, that's a little bit unfair. I think it's literally one of the heaviest damage dealing bosses in the entirety of the game. However, and he feels a bit unfair too, and that's what's keeping it from S tier. But the legendary character that drops from it, it's amazing. If you get the 3-star Black Adam without any gears, you're gonna be happy because you can put that man to work straight up. In the crown artifact, it's a pretty damn good artifact. Next up, we have Advent of Chaos. Guess I'm gonna put it at B tier. It's just a lame soul raid overall. Like, initially when it released, it was a lot more annoying because you would get roadblocked by a lot of characters that start to have more and more crit resistance, dot immunity. But a lot of those issues were retroactively solved by the addition of Dark Metal cards to the game, basically, and Batman and the Drowned. The artifact you can drop from it is quite garbage, but you have a chance to drop Raven, which is really good, I guess. And it's a decent soul raid for farming materials without feeling too easy. This is Magic Soul Raids. Okay, I really like this is Magic Soul Raid. It has given us one of the best artifacts in the game. Amazing artifact. The Puppet artifact has good chance to drop a legendary character, and it's very similar to the Black Adam soul raid in the sense that he has a very high damage boss. But while Black Adam has a mechanic that is kinda lame a little bit, that's gonna tag you out, tag you in, stun you, and tag and all that. Zatanna doesn't really have anything to influence your game directly, but she's gonna passively get stronger and stronger, or you're gonna get weaker and weaker because I think she applies incoming damage on you. And it's something like you mess up, you are gonna die. You don't mess up, you're probably gonna be fine. Next up, we got the Constantine soul raids. I guess I'm gonna put them at A tier as well. We got the Twin Blade, which is a pretty decent artifact, but it's not something that you can use on every single team. It's probably something that you're just gonna use on the Raven plus Twin Blade something thing. And Constantine is not the most memorable boss. I don't remember that many bosses being memorable in that soul raid. Though, as far as I remember, they really tried a bit to like give every single boss some cool mechanics, I guess. And make them fun to fight against. Maybe S tier, A tier. Just the character drop and the artifact are really not that great to judge. Nah, let's put that S tier. I like Constantine soul raids. A Realm Clash soul raids, I'm gonna put them at A tier. It's a decent soul raid, has interesting enough bosses. I don't think anything feels that unfair to fight against. And it's got a fairly interesting artifact, I guess, which is the Kamidogu dagger, but it's not that useful of an artifact. I wouldn't mind dropping Scorpion, though. That would be pretty decent for people, because they can get going this Scorpion Raiden team with a gearless Scorpion. So yeah, I feel like A tier is a decent spot for this. Rise of Krypton is gonna be at C tier. The only reason why it's at C tier and not at D tier is because it's not Dawn of Apocalypse, and we're gonna get into that later. But yeah, I hate Rise of Krypton so much. It's got so many annoying bosses. And the last boss collector, since they for some reason decided that it was a good idea to add a reflective shield on him because he didn't have that previously. Yeah, who thought he would have needed the reflective shield on top of everything else that he does, like removing buffs, being immune to every single type of damage known to man. This man is, you're gonna kill him. Like, we got more tools to deal with him than when it released. It's a lot easier than when it released. But yeah, it's just overall not a good time. Not really the best of times to play the Soul Raid, and I don't like it. Also, it's pisses me off because this is the point where Injustice Mobile became kind of pay to win. I mean, previously you could pay for progress with gems, but now since the Rise of Krypton back in the day, they introduced the artifact bundles and they removed the artifact chest from the game. So yeah, I hate this, but I need to make a clear delimitation between this and Dawn of Apocalypse, and we're gonna talk about that later more in depth. Next up, we got the Robin King Soul Raids. I think I'm gonna drop this at B tier. Is not the most memorable Soul Raid ever. The final boss is relatively lame, as like if you interact a bit with the mechanic and maybe get some dot resistance, reduces attack with God Killer, you're gonna be fine. I'm just gonna drop it at B tier. I don't really feel any particular way about this when it comes around. I don't like the artifact that much. Robbing King drop is nice. It's basically kind of the same thing as Raven. A bit of a lame raid in my opinion, but it's got a good character in the bad artifacts. Next up, the last contract. I'm gonna put the last contract at B tier as well. And look, with this one, I love. Okay, let's give it A tier. It's got God Killer and it's got Deathstroke, which are very good drops, but this is lame. This is the lamest soul raids. And you might be like, yeah, but it's the easiest to farm resources on. I'm so happy when the last contract comes around because I can get so many gear materials and reforges. Well, this is my list and this is my opinion. And when the last contract comes out, it's lame because I can't really make much content on it because all the bosses are lame and easy. This is probably the easiest soul raid in the game. I mean, it's arguable because the Robin soul raid, as far as I remember, was pretty easy as well. So yeah, I don't know about that one, but I'm gonna leave it at you here because God Killer is amazing. Deathstroke is amazing if you drop him. Next up, Dark Knight Soul Raids. I'm gonna put this as S tier. I mean, I don't care that much about dropping Bedlam Laughs, but the Soul Raids got some pretty interesting bosses. Bro, honestly, the Benflap's boss in the Robin King Soul Raids was pretty cool. Do we give it an up for that? I don't know, bro. Let's just leave it like this for now. But yeah, I remembered now that the Robin King, bro, the cat's just trying to eat the zipper of my hoodie. But yeah, I just remember that the bosses on the Robin King sword, even though he's kind of easy and lame, are pretty interesting. Like, you get the feeling with the last few stories they introduced that they are really trying a bit to make a bit more diverse final bosses for each tier, and I do appreciate that. They're not the best diverse bosses ever, but at least they're trying. So I guess we can leave it at that A tier as well. Okay, let's move on. Dawn Apocalypse D tier. This is the hardest soul raids, but because of a dumb reason to an extent. I mean, the bosses are hard too, but the artifacts don't split. The artifact bonuses don't split. Since they first started splitting in Rise of Krypton, people were like, "Oh, why don't we do that in Dawn of Apocalypse as well, retroactively?" And it's been years since then, and they don't care to fix that. This is just a slog to go through. It's annoying to go through because you need to kind of think how much my teams really do in the specific soul, right? It doesn't matter that in all of them they get passive stats for having artifacts equipped on other members of the team, but how good are they in Dawn of Apocalypse specifically? It's just annoying, and whenever it comes around, the game is pretty much dead. I hate this, and it would be fixed so easily by just having some goddamn passive stat split and some dark side drops. By the way, in Rise of Krypton, nah, bro, let's just drop them both at D tier. In Rise of Krypton, you don't drop collector shards, and in Dawn of Apocalypse, don't drop dark side shards, which is something they again never bother to go back and retroactively fix. Okay, let me do a little bit of changes here. Yeah, we can give this B tier. Again, if you feel like this should be a S tier, that's a valid opinion. I just have different reasons why I put the last contract lower, because bro, it's just boring. Then we got the Mr. Freeze one. Now let's put, we can leave this at C tier. And I'm gonna put Mr. Freeze already at C tier. The legendary drop is good, but not that impactful for a lot of people, because without gears, it's gonna take you some time to get your Mr. Freeze online. The Norris Snow Globe, it's an absolutely amazing artifact, but this is a not fun story to go through, and it has quite a bit on the side of unfair things. Boss Black Adam, it's Boss Black Lightning, it's a bit unfair. And then when you go to Mr. Freeze, it's currently bugged, and he has the mechanic where he drops ice from the sky, and currently it leaves a lingering hazard that if you step on, you get frozen, and that's annoying. But yeah, this is pretty much the list. I think I included everything. This is my opinion on this, and yet again, it's not a tier list. It's not something impactful. It's just something for fun. So if you disagree with this, that's fine. Just drop it in the comments and have a discussion about it. But yeah, all that being said, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.